And aloha! Welcome back to Mystimon Saga, a world like no other, where people live alongside mystical creatures and where magic comes alive, under siege by forces beyond and within. I'm your host, GM Seth, aka Seth R. Mitchell, and I am today once again joined by our players, Binary, Sai, and L. We're missing Jackie today.
Wow.
She's dealing with things,
Hmm.
but
Hello.
we hope to see Jackie next time. Hello, L, Psy, and Binary.
Hello.
Greetings.
And today we are starting a brand new episode.
Mhm.
And you start out today. We're actually going to start out. It is the 43rd of Coryphus. It is the next day.
Mhm.
It is the next day. Just after your big showdown with Xulgoth and everything that happened afterward. A little bit of a catch you up. Crystal was having some issues. She was having things that she was going through because her closest friend, Magvor, died sadly in Soma's arms. Soma did everything she could. She did all she could, but unfortunately, her efforts were not enough.
Mhm.
And Crystal really does thank you deeply from the bottom of her heart for trying to do everything you could, Soma. It is the attempt counts. The attempt matters to her.
Mhm.
So, some sad things happened, and then Crystal found a little flame to light her way. She found an egg that Magvor had left behind in her office, underneath a pile of books and papers. A big mess that Magvor tended to make a lot of messes in her office. Which, Kawhi said that Magvor did that out of love. and joking that Bird Mystimon are weird that way. And indeed they are. They are a little weird that way. They tend to scatter things about and everything. That's birds for you.
Mhm.
But it is the next day. It is about 6 a.m. And you still have some things lingering from the case that I know you guys want to resolve.
Mhm.
Or at least there are some things that you wanted to do. I believe, but still, you wanted to take a look at Kyrene's itinerary.
Yes, we were trying to compare and contrast to figure out potential locations that other attacks could happen. Since
And I
they always
believe
seem
you
to be
also wanted
on
to
her
speak
route.
with Kyrene.
Yes, to inform her of these events, in case there's anything additional she can think of that might provide, like, as far as either guaranteeing safety of people or otherwise.
And you also wanted her to help you speak with the spirit.
Yes, with the skull. The skull that we pulled out of the wall.
Yeah, you wanted to help. You wanted her to help speak with that spirit, and there were some things that spirit was able to provide, but also it was a little cryptic. Um. Yeah, there were there were some things that the spirit was able to tell you, but mostly it was very cryptic. It was mostly the spirit was mostly telling you to put the pieces together yourself. You have all the pieces, or you have most of the pieces already, and it was trying to tell you you need to put the pieces together yourself, and was also telling you that Xulgoth isn't truly evil. He's just lost. So we could look at the Mind Palace. And these are all of the clues that you have gathered.
Mhm.
Elle has posted another meme. This one says, "Mr. Police, you could have saved her. I gave you all the clues."
Feels like that would be from Xulgoth.
So these are all the clues that you have gathered so far. And you also know from from watching Xulgoth last time that, for one, his Eidolon isn't actually an Eidolon. It actually turns out that it's a Mystimon. It is called Skulldoom, and is actually the Evo form of Draco. And it turns out, Crystal tells you that the Tribunal had destroyed his Draco previously, or at least she thought they did. It turns out, apparently it's alive, and it evoed. And you also noticed...
Is it technically alive? It was just a bunch of bones, wasn't it?
Nice point.
Feels like there's a separate category for that.
Also, from watching him during that showdown, it did seem like Xulgoth was protecting Skulldoom. He was very protective of it. So Crystal mentions that would imply that Skulldoom is very special to him. And Crystal also mentioned something else. There was something that Kyrene said to me that really has stuck with me. She said, "You gave a portion of your life force to save that little Pivar." What if it was the same for Xulgoth? What if he gave a portion of his life force to save his Draco? But why? Why would a madman like him do that? And also, Why would a madman like him, who lives to boast about his handiwork, the murders he's committed, want to keep one in the Watcher house hidden? It really did seem like he was trying to hide that one, didn't it?
And have we've verified that those bones were Deirdre's, right?
Yeah, we verified that those bones belong to someone that you believe knew Xulgoth in
Daphne,
life.
not Deirdre. Sorry.
No, those bones don't belong to Daphne. Daphne is actually Daphne actually happens to be the ghost star that keeps following me around.
Oh, okay. But the ghost star that's been following me around is different from the spirit that was in my spirit jar.
Yeah.
But the bones belong to the spirit that was in my spirit jar, but we don't know who that is yet. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 different ghosts. Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you.
A ghost star is a Mystimon. Kind of think of it like a will-o-wisp.
Yes, but I was just like imagining them as basic in the same way, and I just got them confused. Sorry. Thank you.
Yep. All good. You've been a little sick, so we'll kind of blame it on the cold. And then Crystal remembers something. Wait a minute. Didn't the spirit said you have all of the clues, right?
Right.
Maybe we do. It's just you don't have all the clues. Maybe it's time to go back. Maybe it's time to go back to all the clues that have been gathered by the hidden archives as a whole.
Are they gathered in one place?
Some are, actually.
It'd be an hour.
Follow me. And she leads you back to the ranch. You go back to the ranch through the teleporter in the basement of the tower. And when you arrive back at the ranch, she bolts straight into the main house and goes up into the attic. And about 10 minutes later, she comes down with a box of all of these books or journals, and she sets them down in front of you, and now you're in the main sitting area downstairs on the ground floor of the main ranch house. And she says, "These are the Corbett diaries." At least that's what Bifrost called them. Back in the original Watcher investigation, the Hidden Archives tracked down an old church that some reports said had burned down in the 2500s, but their investigation found it burned down only 30-some odd years ago. And there in the ruins, they found a box of records that led them to the house of a man named Henry Corbett, who had fostered Xulgoth as a child after the death of my grandparents. Weird family history, I know. Remind me to get the real story from my mom sometime. Anyway, there they had to not only deal with Xulgoth, but they also had to deal with the ghost of Henry Corbett. And eventually they found all of these diaries. Bifrost spent a very long time investigating these up until his death. he struggled to understand Xulgoth. I always thought my uncle was just insane, but maybe, I don't know, maybe Bifrost was onto something. We don't know if we don't look. So, if you want to research these diaries, that will be a research task. And let's see here. Let's pull up a character sheet because
Presumably society check with the cipher writing.
yeah, that would actually work. Yes, and also
are
occultism could work too.
Is there anything numerical or mathematical in nature with the writing at all?
In some parts, yes.
Because for I for numbers, if parts are numerical or mathematical, I gain a +2 circumstance bonus to the check.
So, any of you can take part in this research task? Any and all of you?
Alrighty.
All right. Society. Cipher writing.
And let me change scene.
Oh. We have a hero point at the start of every session, right?
Yes. 1.
And they always reset, right?
Yep. Okay. So we have an occultism check from Soma, a society check from Ron, and a society check from Bastille. 26, 27, and 26, respectively.
No, I am going to spend my hero point and reroll that because why
That's story
not?
point. Story point.
Story
Yep.
point. Sorry, I'm looking at where it says hero point.
Will occultism work for this?
Gosh darn it!
You could take the original check if you want,
Yeah.
since that's better.
Would occultism work for this? Because if I'd done occultism,
Yes.
it'd be a 29.
Yes. Yes, it would work.
Okay. Well, for occultism, that'd actually be a 29. If that
Okay.
matters.
Yes, it does. And let's see. We have 1 research point from Ron. We have 1 from Soma and 1 from Bastille. So that's 3 research points. So the diaries are all written by Henry Corbett, and they describe how he fostered Xulgoth as a child because he saw some hidden potential in him. That is what you're able to determine at this time. And it takes you an hour to look through these and determine that. You can now make more research checks.
Ooh. All right. No.
No!
No.
So upset I spent my. I'm so upset I spent my story point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a critical
Soma
failure.
Immediately misreads something and once again just gets hooked on what's his name, the Dragon Lord. Who was the Dragon Lord that I thought was involved previously?
Croson? Croson?
Was it Croson?
Yeah.
It's just like it's all about Croson again.
I am going to now use
Fully
my
getting
story
Croson killed.
I have to
Okay,
save mine
so-
for the tournament. Oh, no.
Rod, you haven't even heard of the tournament yet.
much more respectable.
I have not, but I'm doing this as my one metagame ever.
Yeah. So, Rod, you gained a story point,
Oh,
but
yeah.
still, you gained a story point, but Soma unfortunately lost one.
No. So
Why
that one.
negative? Or do you mean research points?
Yeah. So you lost a research point,
No, by the
And-
way,
Back at 0.
but still gained one, and Ron gained one. So
Yay.
we're at 4 research points now. So you had a bit of a setback because Soma decided to go on a
Soma's now
tangent.
just drawing- yeah, and is drawing dragons like on scrap pieces of paper.
What are you
Just
doing?
fully doing the I've connected the dots. You haven't connected anything. I've connected them.
None of these books have mentioned a dragon, let alone a dragon lord. And I'm talking about your books too, because while I haven't read them, I can vaguely know what they're talking about.
Because of main contents.
Oh my gods.
Reading upside down from across the coffee table, and that says crozier, not croson. It's a completely different word. It's a shepherd's hook.
Just reading it while you've got the back of the book
I learn
facing
new
towards
things
me.
from you all
How
the
do you
time,
even
El.
know what it says?
Crozier. That's a word I've never even heard of.
It's like the bishops. It's like what bishops hold, the bishop's staff, but it's a shepherd's. It's based on a shepherd's hook. Anyways, the more you know.
Knowing is half the battle.
So-
G.I. Joe.
So, spent a third hour on research checks.
We've got nothing better to do.
You know, yeah.
Well, I mean, we should go talk to Kyrene eventually.
That's true. She might be able to help us.
I would love to get above a 10 on the dice.
What are you talking about? 10 what? You want to read 10 books?
I've fully given up, and I'm just playing craps by myself in the corner.
Ooh, snake eyes.
So want to spend another hour on research checks?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
At least it wasn't a 1.
At least it wasn't a 1.
That was a 1.
That sure was a one.
Oops. So the only success here was Bastille. Bastille gained 1, but then Rod lost 1.
So we're just at a flat, just a net 0.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool.
So you're still
Hey,
at 4.
That still has 3. I can't speak for the rest of you.
So we're still at 4 research points total.
How many do we need to beat this thing?
Plenty.
Oh no.
Don't worry, we've got time. We can come
Okay.
back. These books will still be here.
Would you
Let's have
guys
lunch.
like to go talk to Kyrene while I read
It's
these
about-
books?
It's about 8:30
That
in the morning,
Very
so
Wait, but we just
breakfast.
spent 3 hours. We went over.
Yeah,
we
you
went
s-
over
you s-
to-
started at 6. You started around 6:30.
Yeah, but didn't we go to talk to Kyrene, talk to her, came back, got the books, then spent 3 hours? So shouldn't it be like 9:30 or 10? I'm saying we can have mimosas, is what I'm saying. Sorry.
It's still pretty much breakfast time in my opinion at 9:30ish.
Like if it's 10 a.m., if it's double digits, that's brunch.
Brunch. Yeah, you can go have brunch.
No one's gonna stop you from having a mimosa.
You can go have
I'm
brunch.
joking.
Go
I was
for it.
trying to argue for I was trying to argue for lunch, and then I did the math as I was talking, and
Just saying, you've lost story points while sober. You can't do worse while drunk.
Ooh. Except being drunk does have
That's a
any
burn.
penalty.
That's a burn. I wish I could take
Sorry.
story points away for burns like that.
Joke's on you. I already spent mine.
Look, I'm gonna go my entire TTRPG playing career, never playing a character whose superpower is that they went to grad school. So if I'm bad at research, I don't care. Fight me.
I mean, to be fair, if Pat still went to grad school, he sure doesn't remember it.
Ron has a pretty prestigious upbringing.
Imagine.
So what are we doing now? Are we spending more time on research checks, or are we taking a break for
and
brunch?
going to find Kyrene.
Yeah, we're gonna go fight Kyrie.
Go find Kyrene again. Since you have her schedule, you do know that she's supposed to be doing a political rally in the Coliseum district.
Wait, I'm sorry. Actually, a clarification question. We did so we did talk to Kyrene, who talked to the bones for us.
Yes.
We very much skimmed over that. What was that process like?
The spirit was very cryptic.
No, I
And-
mean, like, did Kyrene cast any spells, or like
No.
what was?
No,
the
that's
method
just
through
a
which she
special
spoke to the
ability that she
bones?
has.
Okay,
It's a special ability she
Okay.
has.
got it.
Being a
Did she say
scion, she
anything-
being a scion,
Sure.
she can talk to spirits.
Ron's a scion, he can't do that.
It's a gift that she has as a scion.
Ah, I just gave myself 30 spell slots. Oops.
Yes, all of the magic.
Did she say anything in regards to us conveying that, hey, it seems like everyone that's hunted is on your campaign trail?
She says that she kind of agrees with Crystal that the proximity to the election of these murders is too much of a coincidence to ignore.
Well, yes, but did she have any suggestions since they seem to be specifically on her campaign trail? Like, since everyone's taken place on her campaign trail specifically.
She says it doesn't surprise her, considering that Xulgoth has always had some kind of obsession with her. It doesn't surprise her one bit.
Do you have suggestions to stop such? Because otherwise, if anyone else connects those dots, you do understand they're gonna connect all of the deaths to your campaign.
If the Magi Guard want to blame me for murders, considering all of the political ties that I have, and considering all the political power that I have, considering all the popularity that I have, they're welcome to try. I've tangled with the Pharaoh more than enough times in my career that it's kind of second nature to deal with him.
The concern was less about getting arrested and more the factor of if you are associated with the death of the people just by your campaigning, you are less likely to be elected for your campaign.
That is a fair concern, but also, like I said, I am very popular in Almana, and I think that people know me well enough to know that I would never do anything like that.
All right, well, we've conveyed the information. What you want to do with it is up to you.
if you want to bypass the idea of upping security, that's on you at this point.
I mean, Crystal has already done that for her. Crystal has already taken the liberty of upping security in all the candidates. Like, Floor Aurora is here from the Quartica Islands. You just met her, actually. Floor Aurora is married to Sarah Ariane, and you know that Sarah Ariane is now been brought on by Crystal to be her second in command at the Wayfinder Society.
Them's their words.
Since Flora Aurora is here and she is a candidate for seat 1, I think, for the Quartic Islands. Let me double check. There are two seats up for grabs for each nation, for Almina, Highwind, Olympus, Atlantia, the Quartica Islands, and also Zlamba. Yeah, Floor is up for seat 1 for the Quartic Islands. And actually, smaller nations like the Quartic Islands and Zalamba have 3 seats in order to give them a little more push because they're smaller. So, Floor is actually in town. You know that. And Crystal has up security for her. Crystal is also up security for a few other candidates. One that you've also met in the Coliseum district by the name of Carrie Carmine. Carrie Carmine is up for seat 2 for Almina, and
her entire platform is bring back blood sports.
Ron's down. That's a vote.
And Luna Astoria, Ira's mother, is running for seat 2. And her entire platform is get rid of this freaking ban on same-sex marriage and and same-sex relationships.
Let my daughters marry.
Yeah.
Let my daughters be. I'm sorry, this podcast has been ended.
Anyways, there are some other candidates on the list here that you haven't met yet. You've met Floor, you've met Carrie Carmine, you've met, if you know Kyrene very well, and you've met Luna. And Crystal has upped security for all of them. Whether they wanted it or not, whether they like it or not, she has upped security for all of them. Kyrian's like, I'm a scion. I am the most powerful scion in the world. You really think I need it? Luna's also kind of like that. Look at my powers. You really think I need it? Anyways, what are you all doing?
Going back to the stupid papers.
After
Like
conveying to
right now,
Kyrene, I
yeah.
think more research.
More
Yep.
research. More research for those two. Soba, what are you doing?
Just like today or in general?
Just like today, at this hour.
I'm going to join in more research.
Okay.
Will I curse it? Maybe.
The night is young.
The night is
Ooh.
young. Very true. Okay, go ahead with some more research. Go for it.
38.
38. That is a.
I'm capable. I'm an expert in occultism. There's no reason I can't roll above a 10 once.
I'm a master in society, don't nat one.
Well.
No! Run, go
Amazing.
and find the blood
Amazing. Absolutely gorgeous.
So, here's what happened.
We have all just straight up forgotten how to read.
Hey,
No.
leave that still out of this.
So here's what I.
Every meat-based life form in this house has spontaneously forgotten how to read.
The flesh is weak.
So everyone gets a story point. Everyone gets a story point at this time. Here is what happened. What actually happened. Soma, you finally start getting off the Croson topic. Finally, and finally get somewhere. Rod, you are just suddenly distracted by something Kyrene said, and you can't stop talking about what is something that Kyrene said.
Beautiful.
But still, that was actually a critical success.
Yes.
So we have a
I
critical
will make
failure
that.
and a critical success. So, Rod lost a point, down to 3. Soma gained 1, up to 4, and then Bastille gained 2, up to 6.
Yay!
MVP!
Okay.
I have
You okay there?
accumulated.
I
Yeah.
to
5
nobody, the
points.
robot is great at database management.
Yeah. Are you okay there, Elle?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. It's
I had to
okay.
get the joke out through the comms.
Yeah, it is totally understandable. So, Henry Corbett talks at great length about Xulgoth's hidden potential, and Bastille and Soma, you could make me a perception check.
Hey. Oh, not me.
Rod, you're still distracted, but you still just cannot shut up about something that Kyrene said.
What was it?
Look,
I'm
you
gonna
like
go ahead
playoffs.
and use guidance just in case.
Go ahead.
Just see if
29?
I'm hearing anything that helps me somehow.
I will finish this research if I have to drag these two kicking and screaming.
Pretty much.
I think you'll have to drag us kicking and screaming.
Why isn't this working?
If you can
I
get
will-
Rod to shut up about what Kyrene said.
I will read these books out loud if I have to.
Sorry, hold on. Nothing on my screen. My screen isn't working.
What
Sorry.
would you like me to hold on
Okay.
to?
The books.
holding
Hold on to
books.
these books very tightly.
Very well. You are no longer allowed to touch the books.
I mean, that's probably for the best.
Especially Ron.
Those of us who have been rolling like absolute. I won't
I'd say
this
mostly
often.
Ron. Mostly Ron because
No, I got.
Come on.
I got a natural one. I got a hot natural.
no. Yeah, that's fine and all. But Ron, who the heck rolls 2 1s in a row?
Well, that is true.
I'm getting all the
That is
bad
true.
luck
You
out
did
before the
do that.
tournament.
Hey, it's only a 1 in
Yeah, get it
400
all out.
chance of happening.
That's my luck.
So Soma doesn't see it, but still you see it.
Scanning.
You determine that what Henry Corbett could be referring to here when he talks about Xulgoth's hidden potential, you think he could actually be referring to a seed of darkness that had been planted in his heart after his parents' tragedy. And it kind of seems like Henry wants to cultivate that. So you spent an hour doing that.
Planted
is
in
now-
his heart by an external force, or just like
It just
like
from the tragedy that happened to his parents.
okay, got it.
So it is now about 10:43
Mhm.
in the morning. Do you want to continue?
This is suffering.
Do you want to continue and see if Ron can roll better than a 1?
Still will continue.
Yeah, Ron. Continue.
Yeah, I want to keep.
Go
We
for
might as well keep going through these. Why
Yep.
not?
Go for it.
Please
Going
come
on the
over town.
third
Please
one
come over
and
town.
be really
Please come over
funny.
town. Yes.
Oh, I didn't get the third one.
Good job.
I'm disappointed.
Good job, Ron. Ron, you actually rolled better than a 1 for once.
Yay.
And Soma actually rolled better than a 10. Much better.
Alright,
So-
I've verified they both have their books right side up. Let's see if this goes better.
Still just going around the room, taking our books out of our hands, turning them right side up, and going down the stairs.
But still, you get a story point for that one.
So
Yay.
But still, we're so far at 6 story points. But still, you gain 1.
Yes.
Soma, that is
I
a
have
critical success. You gain 2.
yes.
Yay.
Ron, that is a normal success. You gain 1. So you are
Yay.
now at a total of 1, 2, 4, 9.
Possibly 10.
10. You're at a total of 10.
I can add. I can do
So-
better arithmetic.
And 6 of them are mine.
Yes.
So later on, Henry Corbett talks about how at the age of 16, Xulgoth has met and made friends with a young girl about his age. She is Quartican, and her name is Kyrus.
Ooh.
Which Crystal notes is very similar to Kyrene, who is also Quartican.
Mhm.
With a perception check of make a perception check. All 3 of you. For once.
That's about fast.
Jack. I'm good at these. Please.
Yeah.
No, I rolled a 2.
35.
It looks like you rolled that on Psy backup.
Oh, yes, sorry. That roll is actually a 19.
19.
Yep.
Okay. But still, that is a success. Soma, that is a success. Ron, that is a failure.
Yeah, I figured.
That is actually almost a critical failure. Almost.
Holy
So-
shit.
Soma and Bastille, you infer that Henry Corbett writes of Kyrus with a sort of disdain and anger in his tone. He keeps referring to how she is holding him back. And at the end, he writes, she has to die.
Oh.
So you are at 10 research points.
Mhm.
It is now 11:47. 11:48. Do you want to continue?
Yes.
I'm kind of worried about this countdown. Do we have any appointments that we're supposed to be at?
Not that I can
Countdown?
think of, but I'm also like
No, I'm just
You're-
keeping track of the time for you.
Okay.
suspicious.
It's very suspicious.
I'm just keeping
Like,
track
have
of
we
the time.
forgotten? Do we have a dentist appointment at 2 p.m.?
I'm just keeping track of the time for you.
Well, if we do, we definitely shouldn't have them remove your wisdom teeth. You might need them currently.
Hey, Gene.
Bastille is on
Thanks for
one
joining
side.
us.
Bastille.
We are doing great. I'm going to be mostly paying attention to the game here. So let's have some more society or occultism checks. You're going to continue your research.
Righty.
23 from Soma. 23 from Bastille.
Worst
That's
roll
2
I've
failures.
Woo,
2
Ron!
failures. And we have a 38 from Ron. So Ron, that is actually a critical success.
I'm making
So-
up for it.
You
Critical
gained 2
failure.
research points for to make up for Soma and Bastille crashing and burning. And you're now at 12 research points.
Yay.
And here is the big breakthrough. Crystal exclaims, "That's it. That's the real story." As you discovered that Kyrus had gifted a skeleton to Xulgoth. And Crystal actually summons a Mystimon right in front of you to kind of explain her point here. She summons Scorpicon, which is this big scorpion with 3 tails.
Mhm.
And she explains this was Tanwin's Scorpicon. I don't summon it often, but I have a different connection with it than I did with Backfor because it belonged to someone I care about.
Mhm.
What if the reason Corbett said she had to die was because she was the one and only thing keeping his darkness at bay? And then when she died, that's when he cracked. And if Skeleton was a gift from her, and that Skeleton is now his Skulldoom. See, I swear I saw the Tribunal destroy his Draco. They destroyed it. But when Bagvor was still a Pivar, she was near death at one point, and I gave a portion of my life force to save her. What if he did the same? That is his weakness. The one thing he doesn't want anyone to know, he will do anything to protect Skulldoom. Because it's a symbol of her. God's Mom was right. I didn't want to see it because I thought he was just insane. Mad as a Hatter, but this means there is some part of him still that can be redeemed. The part that loved Kyrus. And so, there is still more to discover here if you want to continue. It is now about 12:52 in the afternoon.
Do we need to sleep at all?
No. You slept last night, didn't you?
I hope so.
It is
Yes,
the next
so
day,
does
so I'm assuming you slept.
Yeah, it's just 1 p.m. Yeah, I mean, why not?
Go for
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
True.
it. Indeed. So 29 from Bastille, 25 from Soma.
Ooh.
41.
That is a massive critical success from Ron.
Beautiful.
Soma got a failure, but still got a success, and a critical success from Ron. So that's 2 and 3. That's a total of 3 research points on top of the 12 that you have. That is 15.
Net positive, baby.
It's now
Question.
almost 2 p.m.
Can we keep casting guidance since this takes an hour and you're only immune for an hour?
Yes.
Ah,
Okay,
Nice.
I
I'm
should have been
gonna
doing that. I'm going to keep casting guidance on these.
I don't have guidance.
Go for it. Go for it.
Are you giving all of us guidance?
It's a cantrip, so yeah, why not?
Yeah.
sweet. What does that do?
Plus
You
1.
just get a +1 status
Plus
bonus
1
to
circumstance status.
+1 status, so it can stack with the
Status.
circumstance.
Beautiful.
Hence why I thought about it, because I was like, oh, wait a minute. My bonus is a circumstance bonus and guidance status, so they can stack together.
Mm-hmm.
You could spend a story point on that, Soma.
I give you everything, and this is how you return the favor.
I know, right?
Roll a story point. Spend a story point on that. You can do
Okay,
better.
There we go.
That is
There
much
we go.
better.
I can do better.
That is much better. And Bastilles?
How does 39 do?
So, that is 1 critical success and 2 regular successes. That brings you up to a total of 19. Henry Corbett speaks with glee about how the deed is done. That girl is dead. He buried her remains in the wall of a house under construction. In over the following pages, he describes Xulgoth's continuing descension into madness. That's how he did it. Henry Corbett murdered her, and then using psychological interrogation techniques often employed by the Magi Guard, he planted the thought into Xulgoth's head that he killed her. He turned it around on Xulgoth. And the grief and the guilt completed his transformation. Those remains in the wall you found, I thought they were Xulgoth's first victim, but they weren't. They're Kyrus's remains, Corbett's victim. But Xulgoth thinks he killed her. So you probably have actually heard of police actually employing in similar interrogation techniques, just like that.
Yeah, I it's horrible.
Yeah, it's that is definitely something that needs to change. But neither here nor there. Anyways, Crystal summarizes everything that you've discovered. And at the end, she says, if you face Xulgoth in battle, remember, go for his skull doom. That's his weakness. He will do anything to protect it. I need to talk to my mom. She was on the right track, but she went about it all wrong. She tried to appeal to him on the memories of their time as kids, but the only way through to him is Kairos. Maybe Mom and I together can talk to him, but approach him through the love that Mom felt for Dad, and the love that I feel for Tanwin. We also need to investigate Kairos, find out everything we can about her. You know, it's funny. All I could think about for so long was revenge, to make him pay for Magvor. That is until Ira pointed out the fact about his skull doom. And now I actually sympathize with him. If there's a part of him, however small, that can be redeemed, that can be made to see, maybe we can avoid bloodshed. There is a part of him that loves his skull doom, that remembers it as it once was, a skeleton that belonged to someone he cared for. He cared for someone once, someone who was taken from him. If we can just break through to him that he did not kill her, that it was Henry Corbett, and that we know how much he cared for her, maybe we can get through this without a fight.
Sorry. Testing something.
No worries. So, it is now almost 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And you've learned quite a lot. So what do you think?
Does it feel like there's still more that we can glean from this?
Not at this time.
Okay.
You've learned quite a lot.
While
There's
light out.
There's plenty of other diaries, but and there's probably more about Henry Corbett that you can find out.
While there's still light out, I want to go poke around. You know, using just like a combination of various spells and Zeal's nose and you know, my own memory, and just looking around to try and find the floorboards and like the vision that we've had of something hidden under floorboards, to try to find this little, I think it's like the pyramid that Hydra,
yeah,
is trapped in, where that's emanating from.
Yeah.
Just
Find
like
out.
I don't necessarily expect to find it tonight, but like to start the search, to start
yeah. Okay. So
Since it seemed like the perpetrator of this was Henry, is there, but if I were to do another society or occult roll, or based on what we've gathered so far, is there any mention of where he might have left any effects, or like anything related to said person that we could use to remind Xulgoth?
So there is Henry Corbett's old house, and Crystal remembers the address to that house, and she can provide you that address.
Okay. Does he mention having put anything there? Or no.
You could make me a society check to decipher that, to figure that out.
Will
And-
do.
Soma, you can make me a perception check as you're looking around the ranch.
Can Zeal aid me in this?
Sure.
I don't know if this evil pyramid smells. But he
No,
does have smell.
Does he have Misty sense?
No, he doesn't. He has dark vision though. He's got scent. And Snoop.
I remember Snoop.
I don't think he helps.
Nope, not really.
And I don't find anything.
Damn.
Yeah, Soma, you feel like you're coming down with a little bit of a cold.
Gee. Everybody notices Soma's voice sounds a little more rattly than normal.
And Koi actually brings you some tea. Herbal tea.
Bless her, honestly. Oh, I'm sure. I knew.
Yeah.
A Tisana, perhaps?
Yeah. Okay. So, but still, you think that it's possible that he could have hidden some things belonging to Kyrus at his house.
To
It's
the
potentially
house I shall
possible.
go.
The robot is on a mission. Okay, so Braun, what are you doing?
Can I also investigate the pyramid?
Look around for the pyramid? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can make a perception check.
All right. Oh,
27. Better than what Soma rolled.
true.
So you're looking about in the main ranch house,
Mhm.
and you do find some loose floorboards up there,
Okay.
and as you were doing that, as you look under those loose floorboards, and you find a dagger wrapped in some cloth.
Oh.
You find a dagger wrapped in some cloth, and this dagger, make me an occultism check.
All right. I'm good at those.
I would hope so. Occultism tends to be the most rolled skill.
Is this a decipher rating check?
uh,
The answer's probably no.
yeah, actually, it can be, because you do actually find some weird symbols on this dagger.
Cool. My fancy spectacles help me. Oh my god! I rolled a 4.
No, they don't.
I'm using a story point on this.
I was gonna say, don't forget, you did get a story point.
Yeah.
So
do we do one every hour of play as well?
No.
Got it. All right.
So,
Roll.
Soba as you're hanging out on the porch steps, drinking your tea, a woman with raven black hair walks up to you. You say you first notice her walking up towards you from like a long ways away, because this ranch doesn't have much besides those Vitors. This woman seems to get around the rampaging Vitors just fine. And as she approaches you, she says, hello. Is something up with those Vitors?
Yes. Can I help you?
I am here looking for the hidden archives.
Well, you found us.
Good. I believe you have something that belonged to my grandfather. And I believe that we could actually be looking for the same thing.
May I ask who you are?
Certainly. And she gives you a bow as she says, my name is Dr. Lorena Gray. My grandfather was also Dr. Gray, funny enough. And I believe someone here had been looking for him.
That was probably before my time, so you will want to come inside and talk to Crystal.
Certainly.
And I kind of nudge Zeal, who runs inside to go get Crystal.
Okay. So you bring her inside, you bring her to the main living area on the ground floor, and Crystal arrives sometime later, followed by Zeal, your little Equine.
Yep, I'm gonna make Dr. Gray some tea. It's not gonna be as good as Kawhi's. You know.
Yeah.
But I will be able to tell her fortune with it.
Okay. And Crystal says, so I was summoned by a fox. Hello, can I help you? And the woman introduces herself, Dr. Lorena Gray. And Crystal says, you know, I think Bifrost was looking for Dr. Gray. And Lorena says, yeah, that was my grandfather. I'm searching for him as well. I haven't heard from him in a long time. And so I am very worried about him. I actually have something here. And I believe it together with something that Bifrost, I believe, took from my grandfather's house. I believe it might be able to shed some light on things. And Rod, at this point, you come down the stairs holding this dagger as you're examining it in the light, and as the woman sees the dagger in your hands as her eyes fall upon the symbols on the dagger, you notice her wince as she kind of puts a hand to her head. Make me a perception check.
Hey. Not do it on the backup this time.
Soma, you could make a perception check as well,
No!
which would probably be a good thing since Rod doesn't notice shit.
Yeah, well, I got a 33 on examining the dagger.
Can I let Ron reroll? What the?
You
Can you
use-
give me your story
no,
point?
no, you can't. You can't spend your story points on behalf of others.
I wasn't sure. I figured I'd ask.
Would be really nice.
It would. But Selma, you notice her wince as you bring her the tea, and you... it kind of seems to you like she has a headache or something.
Here, this will help.
And Lorena says, "Oh, thank you." Yeah, it's just whatever that knife is. The symbols on it reminded me of something.
Ron, where did you find that?
While investigating the pyramid.
It was under the floor?
Was it? I've zoned out.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
You found it under the floorboards upstairs.
What did it remind you of, Dr. Gray?
Well, my work specializes in ancient cultures in the Ocean Kingdom specifically.
Wow, you must have
And-
some really interesting colleagues. Sorry.
Yeah, I do, especially one by the name of Keita, who keeps pestering me about something related to something with to do with the Pro Battle League. I don't know.
What's the Pro Battle League?
Crystal shrugs. It's a kind of gladiatorial league. There's things like Mystimon battling and martial arts and stuff like that.
At that, Ron will like stand a little straighter and just say, "I request that you get me into this tournament."
As so happens, I think Floor actually got some invitations for that.
Would Ron recognize that name?
Yes, you would.
Okay.
You met her just a couple of days ago, actually.
Ah, okay.
So, Lorena
Technically, I think
tells
it was
you...
yesterday.
Yeah. Lorena tells you that those symbols on the knife are similar to symbols that she found, to hieroglyphics that she found on some ancient ruins in the Ocean Kingdoms.
Ooh.
And she questions that. What would a dagger with hieroglyphics that seem to be from the Ocean Kingdom be doing here on the surface?
Does Crystal seem to recognize the dagger?
She says, "Yeah, that's a dagger that Bifrost found a year or two ago, a couple of years ago." Bifrost, bless his heart, tended to find all sorts of weird things in his investigations, and for whatever reason, he thought it best to hide them scattered around the ranch.
It's
Actually, he reminds me.
tied.
Actually, he reminds me a lot of Magvor. Weirdly enough.
Another thing that he hid, I'm saying this to Dr. Gray, is part of what we think is going on with the Bitors.
And what would that be?
Pyramid of some kind of trap, or some kind of creature who's
Excuse me, did you say a pyramid?
yes?
A small pyramid that kind of fits in the palm of your hand? With 3 sides?
Perhaps? Believe so?
Did it have hieroglyphics on it?
I don't know. We haven't seen it. We've been looking for it.
Crystal says, yeah, as a matter of fact, it did.
Ooh.
Lorena takes a step back. I think what I have been researching in the Ocean Kingdoms, and what my grandfather was researching before he disappeared, and what you are investigating, are all one and the same. What could it
And
be?
what is that?
I haven't the faintest idea, honestly. Honestly, I tend to try to forget my time in the Ocean Kingdoms. Because of what I went through down there. There's things that happened to me down there that I would much rather forget. But it seems they will continue to haunt me no matter where I go.
Night, Mom.
So at this point, Crystal says, well, I haven't the faintest idea where Bifrost hid these things. He was a bit of a character, to be honest. You could probably tell from reading his journal. But I do believe I remember some kind of some kind of folio that he had that he was researching a lot. I think he called it a manuscript. And Lorena says, yeah, that's it. It is a manuscript from my grandfather's book that he was writing before he disappeared, titled Dr. Gray's Guide to Terrors of the Void and Beyond. My grandfather...
Yes. Sorry.
My grandfather investigated and was researching void terrors, as well as the ancient ones.
Concerning.
I had always thought that these creatures he talked about were fantasy, but after what I experienced in the Ocean Kingdoms, I've come to an understanding that what my grandfather researched was indeed very real. Disturbingly so.
We have encountered void terrors ourselves here. Sorry, that went into Kata's voice for a minute there. We have encountered void terrors ourselves here. Not on the ranch yet, but creatures that have been summoned from a reality external, it seems, to ours. So
Crystal says, actually, do believe the hidden archives have dealt with void terrors here on the ranch before your time.
excellent, wonderful, super, great. Looking forward to that.
The ranch here has some hidden secrets and mysteries. It's kind of an interesting ranch. Like I wouldn't know or think that actually all of the phenomena that happens here has to do with Hydra, but I mean, in their time here, the Hidden Archives have seen some weird things, like some objects in the sky and the such.
Mm-hmm.
Out of game, if anyone hasn't figured this out yet, Foxhollow Ranch, this ranch that you live on, is actually based on the real world Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, cool.
Which I believe someone just posted a GIF from.
No, the GIF I just posted was from the movie Nope.
That's from the from a movie. So, sorry for that. Little bit of a look into the kind of weird things that inspire me.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal at that point gets this. It gets a call from Floor. And after a while, she comes to you and she says, "Well, Rod, you're in luck. Floor actually has invited all of us, including Ira and Koi, to join her at the Pro Battle League Championship Festival that is taking place in Evergreen City."
Ron claps his hands together and just says, "Perfect."
It is taking place in Evergreen City on... What was the date she said? Oh, right. Terra Day, the 8th of Endora. It's about 11, 12 days.
I cannot wait.
Soma is sadly going to have to bounce out because the cough is getting really bad for her.
Fair enough.
So now we are left with YouTube.
Yay!
How
I'm
we play.
investigating a house.
I'll just RP Soma. So you're this is actually great since we actually haven't gotten to the tournament yet. That's in about 2 weeks. We haven't gotten to the tournament yet. Now, Bastille wants to investigate a house. Henry Corbett's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron, will you be joining him?
Ron will be joining him.
And who else do you want to bring? Do you want to bring Soma?
Probably be a good idea, yeah. Don't think any of us should be away from the rest of the group.
Yeah. And Crystal says she has some things to deal with back at the tower. She has to deal with a lot of paperwork, she says, regarding signing Sarah Ariane on to be her second in command. A lot of paperwork she has to deal with. She sighs and says, "Sometimes I hate the Pharaoh very much." And Lorena kind of jokes and says, "I think a lot of people hate the Pharaoh."
Damn.
So, you've all gone back to Kalroon.
Mhm.
You've gone back to Kalroon. Let's activate this scene.
Mhm.
Because you want to investigate Henry Corbett's old house. And you find this old rickety house that's long been abandoned. Sitting alone, kind of on its own, off in a distant corner of the housing district in Kalroon.
Okay.
And as you come upon this rickety old house, Ira has decided to tag along, but she told Kwai specifically to stay at the ranch. She told her very point blank, "Stay here." And Kwai argued, but Ira was very firm. "No, stay here. Do not follow me." And several times, Rod and Bastille make me perception checks.
All right.
All right.
And I'll have Soma rolled one too.
Thirty.
Six.
So we have a 23, we have a 29, and we have a 30.
I don't see
Soma and Bastille. Soma and Bastille noticed several times Kwai kind of sneaking behind you, like several paces behind you. Do you mention this to Ira at all?
It wasn't Ron that noticed, right?
No,
I mean,
but still,
there's
it's Soma.
no- yeah, there's no reason not to mention it.
And as you do, Ira goes, and she turns around and yells, "Kwai, go back to the ranch." And she turns back to you and says, "I have had a habit of just letting her tag along into places where she really shouldn't be. And I need to change that, especially if I'm going to be marrying her." And as she says this, let's see. Ron, you can make me another perception check, and we're going to roll another one for Selma.
Please.
But still's
Wow.
kind of just walked on ahead. I'd imagine. At
Yep.
26 and 23. Rod, you notice you hear Kwoi go, but and she turns around and goes heads back.
Incredible.
Yeah. This is Kwoi for you. Kwoi tends to follow Ira all over the place, as was just proven at the Coliseum yesterday.
Mhm.
So, you finally make it eventually to this old rickety house, and like I said, this house is really rickety. It's really run down. It looks like it's been abandoned for years and years and years.
Mhm.
In fact, the windows are all boarded up, and the door is all boarded up, and there's actually now a sign that Iris says wasn't there before.
Mhm.
On the boarded up door, there's a sign that says all trespassers will be arrested on sight.
Oh,
Do
fun.
not enter. So Iris says, well, I don't think I want to deal with the Magi Guard today.
Mhm. What do we do now?
Somehow I think Bastille is going to try to find a way in anyways.
I mean, that sign can't stop him. He can read, but that sign can't stop him.
He is a robot on a mission, of course.
Do I know approximately where the objects in question were hidden?
No,
Did he
You-
mention
you-
like
you
just
have
burying
no
them in the
idea.
yard or?
you have no idea.
All right.
You have absolutely no idea.
Now time to look up. There's a spell equivalent to locate object.
Yay.
Indeed.
Into the spirit and darkness spell list I checked.
Locate object. And what is Ron going to do?
Sorry, I'm zoning out really hard. We're trying to find a way in.
Yeah.
Technically just trying to find the objects related to name that starts with a K. I thought there have been so
Kairos.
many of.
Oh.
Well, you have
Oh.
so many of them.
Can I cast augury?
Augury. What does that do?
This is what it does. Do we have the
You gain a vague glimpse of the future during the casting of the spell. Ask about the results of a particular course of action. The spell can predict results up to 30 minutes into the future and reveal the GM's best guess among the following outcomes: good, bad, mixed, and nothing. And the GM rolls a DC 6 flat check. On a failure, the result is always nothing. This makes it impossible to tell whether a nothing result is accurate. If anyone asks about the same topic as the first casting of Augury, during an additional casting, the GM uses the secret roll result from the first casting. If the circumstance changes, though, it's possible to get a different result.
So I would like to ask the augury. Will we find the fuck, it has to be better than that. What will happen if we go in here?
Okay.
More nobly, obviously. This is a cast time that takes 10 minutes, by the way.
Okay.
Well, good news, because I'm also going to cast something that takes 10 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So, in the locate spell, your options include type of object. So I'm going to do type of object in relation to person. And if it is within 500 feet, as long as it is not, as long as there's no lead or running water between me or the target, I'll be able to locate it.
Okay. So let's resolve Ron's casting first.
Mhm.
Your augury gives you a result of mixed.
I see. Alright. God, how many spell preparation windows do I have open? I had 8, for the record.
Oh my gods.
Yes. Alright, so what does Bastille find?
But still, you think for your casting of locate, you sense something under the ground, but you feel like it's under the house.
Ooh.
Like, potentially in a basement.
Potentially.
Cool, 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 cool. Let's see here.
Ira says, "Great. I was thinking about how I would love to meet that one officer again. So, how do we get in?" You can tell she's totally being sarcastic.
Well, if we wish to meet the officer, the easiest way would just to be ripped down the door.
We could probably find a way to get in that isn't more destruction of buildings. Both him and Bastille sheepishly.
Ira summons a big, giant ball of ice in her hand. Will this work?
If you are wanting to meet the officer, yes.
Great, she says, again, sarcastically. But again, but still has no
Those words
sense of
can't hear me,
sarcasm.
so I... Yes.
Uranus is like groaning, but he's not going to stop her.
So, what you want to let? Do you want to let Ira actually blow down the door with the big ball of ice.
The question is if Ira wants to do it.
Yeah,
You're not putting the onus on us.
We don't have the power to stop her if she wants to.
You can tell she's totally being sarcastic. She really doesn't want to have any dealing with the Magi Guard today.
Look, maybe someone else can, but Bastille's just taking it at face value.
We probably shouldn't damage the building.
Ira looks at you and says, "Really? Thank you, Mr. Sherlock." I did not know that.
One at the ball of ice.
Your name is Ron.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
Does
You still look like a human to me.
Need line of sight?
Do you know what the word sarcastic means?
It does need line of sight. Damn it.
Sarcastic, marked by or given to using irony in order to mock or convey contempt. But you would have no reason to have contempt in this situation.
Oh, sure I do. With the Magi Guard.
They are not here.
But they will be here if I blow down the frickin' door.
But they are not here to receive said irony.
Question, can I see inside the building?
No, you cannot. As I said, the windows are all boarded up.
Damn it.
Basically, there's a sequence of if-then statements that will result in him understanding that that was sarcasm. He didn't meet the if-then statement requirements. Look,
Is there any
if
sort
the
of, like-
Magi Guard were here, and they happen to be looking this way but not yet suspecting us, then they offered the solution of blasting the door down, in which a way to get the attention of the Magi Guard while glaring at the Magi Guard, then all of the requirements would have been met for that to be labeled as sarcasm.
Ron
Look,
sighs
if
and
I
says,
blow down the door, the Magi Guard will be here in a matter of seconds.
I can cast invisibility magic. Are any of you good at picking locks?
I mean, I can cast invisibility.
Ira says, "Yeah, I can pick locks. I can pick pockets."
If we wanted the house, I suggest we not break it.
Really? What
Remove
was your
your phone.
first clue?
Just gonna glare as you continue speaking. And you could attempt to get the door open.
Well, I think that's going to be somewhat of a problem with the boards.
I really want to walk up to the door and just cast kinetic ram. Launch
Or just let Ira blow it down with a big ball of ice.
yeah. Actually, if we just tore the boards down, would there be as much of a issue with the guards as blowing the door in?
Well, it might be a little quieter than a big giant explosion of ice.
Or an explosion of force magic?
Or that. It might also be a little more stealthy than, say, Ira turning the Pharaoh's palace into an ice palace.
Oh, I didn't realize what type of house this was.
No, this is not the Pharaoh's house.
Okay.
But she has done that.
My lord.
She has turned the Pharaoh's palace into an ice palace. She froze it over. The Pharaoh was very upset with her.
I could go
And
invisible and tear the things
that
down.
anger
myself.
blew back on Crystal too.
Yes. Jeez.
I'm looking through spells. Just takes a minute to get through all of them.
Does anyone have a crowbar?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
I believe he has an ability that can do that. Yeah.
I mean, I think I might also just have a crowbar.
Bastille, what's your athletics mod?
It sure exists.
Got it. Give me the crowbar.
And yeah, Soma doesn't have anything in athletics either.
I'm so glad I am both our damage and our athletics and our acrobatics.
And let me bring up Ira real quick. Which actually I need to level her. Actually, let me do that.
Also, is there a
Killed one.
possibility of death for the gladiator tournament?
Oh gods. We could discuss that later.
Got it.
Let's see. What skills does she have? She has Arcana, Intimidation, Nature, Society, Survival, and Thievery. She does not have Athletics.
Looks like Ron's taking the door down.
For reference, my athletics is a plus 13.
Okay, so he has better athletics than Soma and Ira put together.
I have a 22.
It would be +2 for Ira and a +1 for Soma.
Oh, Lord.
Look, untrained improvisation is great.
Bastille, can you cast Dimension Door?
Let me see if it's in the Spirit or Darkness list.
Don't I remember you having a spell that got you through the wall of the council building?
What I'm looking for.
But still, I seem to remember you having a spell like that.
Yes, but that was before we realized I was doing spell stuff wrong.
So you
Or that is a
did
earth spell.
put that on your you did put that in your collection.
What do you mean?
You did add that spell to your collection. You left it out?
Oh,
That's
it's on Spirit list.
It's not on the Darkness or Spirit spell list.
Dimension Door's on the Spirit list.
Yes,
Dimension
Door is. But the spell they're talking about is Pass Wall.
Yeah, but we can get through with Dimension Door.
Pass Wall isn't on the Spirit or Darkness spell list.
Oh no.
Is what I was getting at. Yeah.
But Dimension Door, what does that do?
Well, they slightly modified it, but here it is. You used to not need a clear space in PF2e.
Opening a door that bypasses normal space, you instantly teleport yourself and any items you're wearing and holding from your current space to a clear space within range you can see.
So if we get some wood down from a window, Bastille can port in here and hopefully unlock the door, not break it down, and let us in. Well, there's still going to be wood in front of the door, but Ron can handle that.
This would bring another creature with you, even if you're carrying it in an extra dimensional container, the spell is lost.
Yeah, so we'd basically just get Bastille in there to unlock the door, and then And then we can all just walk in.
I mean, they said they can pick the lock, so why don't we try that? And then otherwise, if we need to, we can dimension door.
Do you have
Sure.
access to 5th level spells?
Yes,
At 10th we should, yeah.
I do.
Unfortunately, Dimension Door isn't in your collection, is it?
Oh no. Well, time to go invisible and break down and pull the wood down. I cast invisibility,
Okay.
making an athletics check to carefully pull the wood down from the door without making too much noise. Please, for the love of God, roll well. Actually, wait. GM, would a 26 succeed at this?
You haven't rolled yet.
No, but I can assurance it.
26 would work, yes, because there's no one around here at the moment.
Using assurance.
Okay, with the 26, you pull down one board. There's still about 4 others.
Going to do that 4 more times.
Okay. You pull down all the doors, all the boards, not doors.
The door unlocked.
It is locked. Ira has theory.
Yep. Ron's gonna walk back and just say, well, still invisible because the spell lasts for 10 minutes. You're up, Ira.
Okay. But still, you keep a lookout.
Very well.
This lock is tricky, she says.
Oh no.
I got one thing. I got one bar. Ah, damn it. She keeps crying. Ah, got it. And she opens the door. And she says, "Ladies first."
And Ron, still invisible, walks through the door.
And she says, "I said ladies."
You can't see me.
Ira goes in. And she looks back, she notices Bastille is still out there looking straight out towards the street.
Bill, get over here.
So we'll go on.
And Ira, it says, Bifrost was never that literal.
Must be a different model.
Very. Okay. So you have finally made it into the house. Finally. It only took you about 25 minutes from the time you... 25 real life minutes.
So about the time it'd take to break into a real person's house.
And as you all walk into the house, Bastille finally walks into the house, and Ira says, "Okay, chalk burglary up on my list of charges." For anyone who didn't know, I didn't actually know this, but burglary actually means breaking and entering. It doesn't actually mean stealing.
Hmm.
You know that Iris being totally sarcastic and not really. You could tell she's not really looking forward to dealing with the Magi Guard again.
Yeah.
And as you explore the house, Iris says, "Yeah, I've had some dealings with the guard in the past. There's one officer in particular who absolutely hates me."
Oh, who is it?
He was a lieutenant the last time I saw him. I think he's actually now a sergeant or something. I don't know. It was. I don't know his name, but I just call him Mr. Smoky Pants. Actually, Kwoi came up with that name. The reason because he is constantly smoking a cigar.
His pants are.
His pants are. Yeah. Got that. So as you look around the house, it is actually really dark in here. Because like I said, all the windows are boarded up. So the only light coming in is from the door that you just opened.
Oh, joy.
Well, good thing I've got dark vision.
And Ira actually decides to close that door. Because she says it's probably not a good idea to leave it open.
I have low light.
Unfortunately, there is no light.
That's unfortunate.
It is very, very, very dark in here. And let's see if Soma has something that can help that.
Well, not only do I have dark vision, I've got this lantern I found.
Yay!
You have a lantern. I
Yeah,
believe
bullseye
Soma
lantern.
has one too.
We both have bullseye lanterns because they're in the detective's kit.
I
So-
haven't picked mine up yet.
You didn't pick one up yet?
No, because Ron got here without anything.
Yep. Soma has a bullseye lantern.
Oh, perfect.
As a reminder, for literally any moment he needs it, Bastille's got a gun.
Oh, God. Yes, so does Soma. Soma's got a gun. Someone called 911.
The robot's got a gun.
My lord.
So you Bastille and Soma light up your bullseye lanterns. I knew the detective's kit would come in handy. And now we have light.
Yay!
And so you're lighting your way through these dark hallways. This is actually a long hallway that you enter into.
Mhm.
And there is one doorway to your right that seems to lead into what looks like some kind of living room. And there's nothing on the left side. And there's also another doorway just a little bit ahead that it leads into what looks like a dining room.
Okay.
And as you go into the living room, actually, you find another doorway in there that leads directly into the dining room as well. And at the end of the hallway, you find you find a couple of things. Actually, you find a doorway. You find a door that when you open it, you see a staircase that goes down. So it does look like there's a basement, and there's also another staircase that leads up to the second floor.
All right. I'm just gonna head up to the second floor, I suppose.
Okay.
I met
Still
downstairs.
invisible.
So, but still is going to go downstairs into the basement.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I got the feeling of the thing.
And Ron's going to go upstairs.
Yes.
Ira shrugs and decides to follow Ron.
How does she know where I am?
Because she's following you.
I'm
She's
invisible.
Invisible.
Invisible. Soma and Ira follow Bastille downstairs, and Ron is still invisible. We
The
don't know
next
where
10
Ron
minutes.
went. We don't know where Ron went. I don't know where Ron went.
Okay.
So, Bastille, Soma, and Ira arrive downstairs in the basement.
Mhm.
And Bastille, as you and Soma arrive in the basement, you find that the floor is actually just dirt. The floor is just dirt, and the basement actually looks like it would collapse in upon itself at any time. This is a very, very old house. And Ira says, "Great. Want to do some digging? Want to add that to our list of charges?"
Does it seem like the location of the object is in the ground?
You think so?
Yeah, it's concentration 10 minutes, so I'd still have it up.
And Ira says, "Fantastic," as Bastille starts digging.
Yep. What does Ron see while upstairs?
What Rod sees upstairs is another long hallway with several, 3 or 4 doors. And in one of these bedrooms that you see here, you actually find the mattress and the mattress and the bed spring up against a window.
Oh, fun.
And as you look into that bedroom, make me a reflex save.
Fun.
This is about to be very fun.
Oh, dude.
Maybe fun for
I
me.
also have evasion, so if I succeed this, I take no damage. Do I
What
have
was that?
evasion?
What was
I thought I
that?
had nothing. I don't actually have the ability.
28.
Oh god, I rolled a 6. I'm fucked.
So you just managed to step back just as that mattress and bed spring comes flying at the doorway that you were standing at.
Oh, fun. All right. Do I see what's anything that seems to have caused it?
No, especially now because now the mattress and the bed spring are covering up the doorway.
Jeez.
And downstairs in the basement, but still, you started digging. And here's what happens. But still, Soma and Ira need to all make reflex saves.
Oh.
I am digging with a shovel for reference. I did get it out of the ever need bag.
Okay. Doesn't matter, you still need to make a reflex save.
Just letting you know, digging will go a little bit faster.
Oh, Ira rolled a critical success.
Damn.
No, it was Soma that rolled a critical success.
Bad.
Ira rolled a 26. I actually need to reveal those. I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
I accidentally left that on blind. So we have a critical success from Soma, we have a 26 from Ira, and we have a 33 from Bastille. And Bastille and Soma and Ira. Suddenly, all these rocks that were strewed about this very, very dirt floor, if you can even call it a floor, suddenly lifted off the ground and started fleeing at you. And you all just barely managed to duck and weave and dodge them. And Iris says, well, it seems like something doesn't like us digging. Why don't we dig some more?
Agreed.
I was being sarcastic.
I'd continue digging.
And Ira face palms. Back upstairs with Ron. What are you doing now that a big mattress and bed spring are blocking one of the doorways? That actually tried to kill you.
Can I see, like, any space from there?
No. There's other bedrooms that you could look in, but you can't see anything past this big mattress. It is literally covering the... So you check the other doorways. Make me another reflex save.
Oh boy.
As you just managed to see a rocking chair, just as it happens to fly directly at you, and you dodge out of the way with real precision.
How's it trying to kill me?
Something's trying to kill you.
Well, I seem to be doing a good job surviving for now.
Yeah, for now.
Do I see anything?
Other than the rocking chair that is now broken to pieces in the doorway. Make me a perception check.
All right. I wish my cat would shut up.
Cats will never shut up.
No, I really won't. That's great.
Mine always talks. Though right now she's just laying here sleeping.
Aw, cute.
And we have a 20. Nope,
Not a very
you don't
good
see
20.
anything. Not a good 20. You don't see anything.
Okay.
I'm just digging in the basement all the live long night.
And then a big beam comes flying at Bastille only. Bastille, make me a reflex save.
Yep.
That was almost on a 20. But still,
So close.
you get smacked. You get smacked. For 16 bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
As this beam just piles into you and actually also knocks you over. And Iris says, "Now will you stop?"
Not until we have what we came here for.
Your funeral.
I would like to summon my Eidolon.
Go
I would like
for
to
it.
give that Eidolon another shuffle. I would like to go ahead and cast Lifelink Search on my Eidolon, and I will start regenerating health while I shovel.
Okay.
Ollie.
Just truly like, you can throw whatever the fuck you want at me. I will shovel anyway.
But still, at that moment, you hear a big, loud, rumbling voice. In fact, this voice is so loud, Ron, you could hear it from clear up here on the second floor. And you hear, "Get out."
Give me like 5 minutes.
Fucking
But still,
Olympus
make
kill.
another reflex save. As another big rock comes flying at you. You just managed to duck as the big rock
Yes.
flies
Oh, that
past
was
you
good.
and crashes into a wall. And as it smashes into the wall, bits and pieces of debris and rocks and stuff kind of fall from the ceiling, and Ira's like, "I think Soma and I are going to go upstairs. You can stay down here and get buried."
We will not get married.
Your funeral. And as she and Soma get back upstairs, you could just manage to hear her say, "At least he's already 6 feet under."
Nice.
And Rod, back upstairs with you. What are you doing?
Are there any more doors that I haven't been in?
There's one.
Going in that
And
one,
there's
do I
also
make
a
reflex
bathroom.
save? I'm going to the bathroom first.
You go in the bathroom first. Make me a perception check.
Expecting reflex. Wow.
No, perception.
Yeah. I know.
Perception.
Sending it.
32. You just barely managed to see the image of a man's face in the mirror just before it vanishes.
What does that man look like?
He looks like a very old man with a bald head. He's got this really nasty looking mustache.
Mhm.
He looks very scraggly. He honestly looks like he was a homeless hobo, honestly.
Oh.
Does he by chance look like someone whose multiple books we've read and have seen multiple times at this point? Presumably.
Yes, you actually do think, Ron, that you just saw Henry Corbett.
Of course it's
Oh.
Henry. It was always going to be Henry.
Of course, this is his house.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's very, very upset with you, it would appear, but still.
Well, that sucks.
But still, as you continue digging, make me another reflex save.
Right.
You just managed to get out of the way as another big beam comes flying at you. And
Oh,
it smashes into the sole pillar in the middle of the room.
Cool. I'm back to full health just for reference. And, you know, me and Eidolon, joint action, 3 actions, both shoveling.
Yeah. That sole pillar in the middle of the room just breaks in half.
Okay.
But still, the roof is starting to collapse.
I cast Safe Passage.
What does that do?
You make a passage through the area safe for a brief amount of time. Anyone passing through the area gains the following benefits against harmful effects of terrain, environment, including environmental damage, hazardous terrain, hazards in the area, so on and so forth. Furthermore, the spell prevents anything in the area that's prone to collapse, such as rickety bridge or an unstable ceiling, from collapsing.
So you managed to keep the ceiling from collapsing for a brief time.
Yep, I sustained for up to a minute.
Ira and Soma upstairs are like, they kind of feel that shaking in the floor beneath them, and they're like, Rod, wherever you are, I think we better get out.
Yeah, Ron starts running down. Like running out and down the stairs.
So Ira, Soma, and Ron, they bolt out the door. Not a good idea to stay in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the sole load-bearing pillar in the middle of the basement has been destroyed.
Oh boy.
This was not a very well-built house.
I can see that.
It's already rickety and everything from years of neglect and abandonment. And it was not very well built in the first place. But still, do you continue digging?
Until I get to that, I mean, I've got to be close. I've been digging for a hot minute now. With my Eidolon helping digging.
Okay. You managed to hit something. And you pull it out, and it looks like a small box. But you have so little time left on that spell. You are thinking it might be best for you to get out of the house before you look at this.
Yeah, I'll recast the spell. Make my way out.
So, but still manages to just make it out just as the entire first floor of the house collapses. And then shortly thereafter, the second floor collapses. The house is no more.
Good lord.
And Ira says, I didn't do it.
I mean, it was a ghost that did it.
As long as I didn't do it.
The ghost of Henry. But I'm not sure the guards will listen to that, so let's go.
And Ira says, that is actually the smartest thing you've said all day.
You haven't been listening to us researching stuff.
We said many stupid things during that research.
Many.
I didn't.
So you bolt the heck out of there before the Magi Guard can come and find the big mess that Henry made. And Iris says to all of you, as you get out of the housing district, she says, the next time you want to break into a house, the next time you want to commit some crimes, keep me the hell out of it.
We might need your assistance as we cannot pick locks.
Keep me the hell out of it.
No. If your assistance is needed, it will be requested.
I am already on the Magi Guard's most wanted list, particularly with one officer. Keep me the hell out of it.
If you are already at the most, you cannot become more.
She turns to Ron. Does he ever make sense?
Not often. You know him well.
I believe that made perfect sense. Unless you are referring to Cents. CENTS. In which case, I do not know if I ever have.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what's in this box?
In the box, you find a comb. It actually looks like a sort of comb that someone would that a woman would put in their hair. It looks like a sort of a hairpiece comb.
Now let us take this to Kyrene and Crystal.
And Ira says, great, bring them in our crimes. And as you finally make your way back to the Wayfinder Tower, she says, I am so glad I kept Koi out of this. Otherwise, she'd be on the most wanted list with me.
You say this like it is the most dire crime we have ever committed.
Isn't it? You just destroyed a house.
No, the ghost destroyed the house. We broke and entered into the house. We've also broken and entered.
I don't think the Magi Guard will see it that way.
I am just simply stating a list of things that would be considered serious crimes. I believe they would rate breaking and entering into the council building higher than a house.
You've done that too? Great. You've really been busy, haven't you?
It is
And
where
this is
Xulgoth went.
and this is Ira for you. She's always sarcastic. Does Ron want to say anything?
Chuckling.
We've also murdered, but those were cultists.
Yes, I did send one flying through multiple fences.
Great, we
Nice.
can add assault in the first degree to our list of charges.
I'd like to be self-defense.
I don't think the Magic Guard will see it that way.
Luckily, the Magic Guard did not see. So the only way they'll find out is if you tell them.
I wasn't there. I am so glad that I wasn't.
I've got my eyes on you.
You have eyes?
I have my eyes on you too. As you all make your way into the Wayfire Tower, you're still going back and forth like this, and Crystal's like, "Well, it
Your
looks like
question is
Ira's
not
back.
answered on-
It looks like Ira's back to her normal self."
Your question is not answered on whether he has eyes or not for reference. Just so you know, I'm not ignoring you.
Ira says, it says to Crystal, I don't think it should be called the Hidden Archives anymore. I think it should be called the Crime Slingers or something.
You would be a good fit then.
Keep me the hell out of it. And she walks out of the room.
Did you know that she is the guard's most wanted?
Yes, I did.
She is now more so.
She's particularly wanted by a particular certain officer who really does not like her. Honestly, it's prejudice. And Crystal shrugs. It's only because she said some things about the Pharaoh in his presence one time, and now he's after her for prejudicial reasons. Just because she said something about the Pharaoh.
Anyway, we found this comb.
Where did you find it?
Henry's house. Well, was house. No longer house.
It
Okay.
attacked us and
So you burglarized a condemned house and then
Yeah,
tore it
Nothing
down.
else happened. No. Henry tore it down.
Do you have evidence to that fact?
He was trying to stop us from getting the comb.
only circumstantial, as I saw his face in a mirror before everything went down.
Then I'm afraid the Magic Guard will probably not see it that way.
No, most likely not. Circumstantial.
Well, they didn't see it at all, so
Oh, you could bet they're probably already investigating the destroyed
There's likely
house.
wards or magic being used in the investigation. They'll see us.
they've been unable
They won't
to
see
locate
Ron,
anything.
but they'll see, because Ron had visibility on, but they will see Bastille, Soma, and Ira.
If they have like an object memory, they'll know that beds were flung at something that they can't see.
So,
But if they had things like that, they would have already suspected Xulgoth. Because they don't suspect Xulgoth, we can know that they don't have things like that at their disposal.
Or anything like that is being overturned.
and I think that is where I'm going to end today's session.
All right, how much XP do we get for killing a house?
I'll calculate XP later.
That's beautiful.
And I'll let Soma know that she is wanted for questioning by the Magi Guard.
Hey, that requires them to have competence they have never been shown to have.
Well, first time for everything.
But it's not today.
It is today.
No, it's not.
So, that is where I'm going to end today's session. We'll be back for more of this.
Oh boy.
We still haven't even gotten to the tournament. Much to Ron's chagrin.
Immense chagrin.
We will get to the tournament eventually. And we will be back for another episode in 2 weeks. We'll be back for another episode in 2 weeks on April 18th.
Yay!
It's okay. I've got a plan for the breaking and entering
Oh
to
no.
make sure we can't be known.
Oh my gods. I don't want to know.
Many cast of invisibility.
Yeah, there's a spell that'll stop them
I do
from
not
being able
wanna
to pick
know.
us up as. There's a spell that'll stop them from being able to pick us up as well.
Oh my god. So beautiful.
We will find out what he has planned next time.
Mm-hmm.
We will be back in 2 weeks on April 18th for another episode of Mystimon Saga Hidden Archives. See you then. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.